Hello everybody, it's PapaNash and today I'm alone in the house, so I have to manage somehow while holding this camera and making this delicious recipe. Today I'm making garlic mushrooms. Very simple, very few ingredients. Let me display the ingredients now. So for this recipe you will need about 400 grams of mushrooms. I use flat white mushrooms cut roughly. I also use about 90 to 100 grams of brown onion, also chopped pretty coarsely as you can see. I have about 20 grams of butter with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a handful of freshly cut coriander. I like a bit of texture in my garlic, so it's a little bit rough cut. And we have vegetable stock. Some people use white wine in this recipe. I happen to have vegetable stock infused with the porcini mushroom. So that's sure to add a lot of flavor. And then for seasoning we use salt, pepper. If you don't have fresh garlic and you're in a hurry, you can substitute it with 2 tablespoons of garlic paste. Let's get started. Heat up a pan that's large enough to hold all your mushrooms. I put it on full whack for about 30 seconds to a minute before I'll reduce it to medium heat. You will know you're getting the right amount of heat. Just put your hand gently over the pan. Now, that looks about ready for us to add in the onions. They are roughly cut as I said earlier. So you want to saute your onions. And another tip is don't rush. Cook your onions down until they're soft and translucent. It could take 4 to 5 minutes. So once your onions are done, this is definitely going to lower the heat in the pan when you chuck in the mushrooms. So what I do, I'll increase the heat slightly for a while. Remember, these mushrooms are going to release a lot of water, so there's no rush in cooking mushrooms. They have to release their water before you can fry them. I learned this from a French chef. You got to let the mushrooms release their water, and that's when you can really fry the mushrooms. You can add a bit more olive oil once the mushrooms have all become soft. This could take a while, so like I said, good cooking, there's no hurry. Another tip, I purposely let my onions go till they are golden brown. Onions have sugar and they taste so good when they are cooked till they are slightly brown, but don't burn them, then you're going to get a bitter taste. See what's happening to the mushrooms? They're slowly starting to reduce. And here's an optional tip. Mushrooms are very earthy and nutty, right? So to enhance the flavor, later I'm going to garnish with coriander, which is also very earthy. But if you like to experiment, put half a teaspoon of cumin powder and half a teaspoon of coriander powder to further enhance the earth tasting flavors in this beautiful dish. So that's my cumin and that's my coriander, and I'm just going to go in with literally just that much, just to bring out the subtle flavors. And then you mix that in. Now that most of the water has evaporated, I'm going to add in the garlic, because garlic can burn, so I don't want the garlic to overcook. There we go. Give that a good mix, keep an eye on it. So it's time to add in some black pepper. And taste it to see how the flavors are building up at this stage. The garlic is getting cooked and the smell is heavenly. It looks pretty dry now, doesn't it? This is where I'm going to bring out my secret ingredient, which is a little bit of the mushroom stock infused with porcini. I'm going to increase the heat, and I don't want it to be a dish that's too wet, so I'm going to do my best to dry it up a little bit before I garnish it. And the final taste for salt, and we should be done. Just tasted it, it's heavenly, and the moisture has gone down. It's more than half reduced. If you want to, you can stop now. You can stop now. If you like it a bit more dry, you can continue. I'm going to turn the fire off. I'm going to let it sit for a while, and I'm going to taste it for salt and seasoning, and I may add a little bit more salt. That's to your own personal liking. And I'm going to garnish it with the freshly picked coriander from the garden and a drizzle of a little bit of cream at the end. And this is what you can serve your guests as an entree. Garlic mushrooms. The amount that we cooked was enough for 5 bowls. I hope you've enjoyed spending these few minutes with me. It's PapaNash teaching you what I hope are simple recipes, unique recipes that you can try at home. Let me know how it goes, and I'll be very happy to have your feedback and comments. Thank you. If you like this, please share this video on your social media. Thank you again.